Okay, we are live and I believe good to go.
Are we?
Don't count on me about that one. Don't quote me. Don't hold me to it. I make no promises.
I was just going to say you have no promises in you today, correct?
Yeah, it's better to not have promises today.
There you
Okay,
go.
just trust me on that one.
There you go. Um, do we have anybody joining us today? So
It looks like
far?
we got two. We have three total, but one's
Three.
probably a bot
Okay, one's our bot friend, is it?
or Batrix, and then we
Or
have that Rumble bot.
the Rumble bot. So we probably have one person. So,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, hi,
oh, hey,
Blue
Blue. How
Rose.
you doing? Hopefully it's warm where you're at, 'cause I'm cold and I do believe Crazy Bee is cold too. And she claims she is not a bot. I wonder if she has proof of that.
We've talked on camera. I've shown my face, sent
I know, so have I.
pictures.
So have I. I know she's legit. Now, Blue Queen, on the other hand, might be. It's semi warm. What the heck is semi warm compared to so you're semi cold? I'm freezing. The last 2 days I've been like an icicle. I can't stand it. This is supposed to be April weather, not May weather. But I know.
Actually, I would say this is more February weather for me, but
Oh, that is true. I mean, what time do you start planting? Like, if you were to put your tomato plants in?
Oh, I would have started that at the end of March.
Really? That's
Yeah,
wow.
down here the ground's already thawed, and we're pretty much past our last freeze in
Yeah.
March.
Yeah, we've been
So,
known to maybe get some snow in May. It's been a long time, but it has happened. And with the rain, I'll tell you, and the thunderstorms, it's been pretty bad. So, just
mm,
so you ladies both know, you know the story of the apple juice, the apple juice. Jeez, come on, D. The orange juice container, correct? That happened the other day. Well, guess what?
yes.
I have another bottle with me, and we're going to see if everything's going to be okay today with it. So, if not, you'll hear a loud, ear piercing scream, and who knows what'll happen. In fact, I better move my cell phone out of the way.
So it don't get
Okay.
damaged, hurt,
Uh
or
huh. So it doesn't
destroyed.
get damaged, correct? And so maybe just the tablet will get ruined. That's all.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. I know we wanted to start off. At least I did with the other on Sunday. I guess we went back and forth a little bit with the position of what was the difference between fairness and freedom, and we were not understanding one another. And I went back and listened to it and thought that I got a little bit, oh, just a little bit, tad heated, and that I probably should have stopped sooner than later. And I then went back and looked up different definitions and different meanings and all of that. And well, first off, we were not fighting. As soon as
No.
we ended the live, we were talking, and we talked that entire weekend
And laughed.
and laughed, and we continue, and we've been talking ever since. But yesterday, I did call Crazy B up, and I apologized for what I thought was overly over the board a little bit behavior, and said, I hope that I don't do that again. But knowing the two of
Yeah.
us, that probably isn't going to happen. So
And
then,
we just help keep each
yeah,
other in check and know it's not coming from a place of anger. It's
right.
and like in my case, it was more I'm frustrated with myself for not being able to word this properly,
And
and
yeah, and I'm
that's it.
thinking you're mad, and then
No, if I was mad, I would have cussed you out and walked out.
and then so as we were preparing for today, as we were getting ready to end, I brought it back up again, and I said, "Oh, by the way," because I blew up her DMs with a oh yeah, I blew up her DMs with stuff to review, and so I said, "Before we end, this is going to be the very last thing I send you. And so she opens it up and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Well, what are you talking about?" And here we were, she was seeing things one way about fairness and freedom, and I was looking at it from a totally different perspective than she was.
Mhm.
And rather than us drag it out and rehash it again, we suggest that you guys look up the definitions yourselves, the meanings yourself, and what it means to you to be have fairness or freedoms. And
I like the freedoms over the
right,
fairness.
right,
I can live with a shitty life. Well, I've had a shitty life, so I can live with it if I had to.
right,
But I still like my rights to, at least have a say in the situation.
right. And I was looking at it from the perspective of we have no freedom at all, really. There's all types of constraints put in front of our freedom. Uh,
Yeah.
right,
But we can never be truly free.
free,
Here's the other
correct,
thing.
right,
Otherwise, you're going to have pure anarchy, and then you still won't have freedom
right.
because somebody will just kill you for it.
Correct. So when I got mad, instead of, us talking it out, I'd just be able to drive down and, unalive her and just drive right back home and it would be okay. And I'd be
Because
looking
there's
for a
no
new
law
co host.
enforcement to do shit about it. Yeah.
Exactly. So there'll always be some type of constraint on the freedom. But, ultimately we agree on the concept of all of it. And so we want to put that to rest. Um, the other thing that Crazy Bee and my family and loved ones know, and now you will know, because Crazy Bee even convinced me today that I had to continue it, uh, that I am on some new medication that has been doubled since last week, and it may take up to 3 weeks for all of the side effects to get out of my system. And one of them is particularly, we'll use the word frustration, might pop out. And I don't know how the medication's going to work. I know right now I don't like it, but between the doctors and, Crazy Bee has this medical piece background to her, she's like, "D, you really owe it to yourself to try to stick it out." And I'm like,
Just give
"All
it a
right,
few more weeks. It's only
I know."
been, what, a week?
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday will be a week or Thursday. The day I got
Yeah,
injected,
you
that was Thursday.
yes,
When,
so it's been a week, not even a week,
yeah, but
and I would prefer you to stay on it just to see if it does
yeah.
help you versus and
Well, it
I can
has
handle the
helped.
mood
That's the
swings.
problem. That's the problem. It's helped the tremors tremendously. So, but I'm not gonna like it if it doesn't. You know, it's the tremors have substantially decreased. It's gonna be,
Yeah,
am I gonna like the effects
side
that I'm
effects.
feeling from it? Yeah, the side effects from it. I don't know. We'll see.
Personally, if everyone around you can handle it,
That's funny.
use it.
Eric, do you wanna go to the hotel for a couple more weeks? Yeah.
He's
Uh-huh.
still there. He
He's
hasn't
still
gone
there. I
anywhere.
know. He
Don't let her tell you guys otherwise.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Okay, so we had the first sip out of that big container that I went to bed with the other night. That's funny. But yeah, so and all of Crazy Bee knows, my other online friends that I know, they all have Eric's telephone number so that in the event that I get overly out of control, they know to call him and say, "Hey, your wife needs checked." So,
Yeah, she might need to go
yeah.
to the ER for a medicine adjustment, you know. Ninth
That
floor,
or
3 days.
yeah,
It's all good.
yeah. Or it's also potentially battling some whacked out infection that's going on, but we're not going till the
Yes.
very last minute, so uh
Yep. When you
you
start
know
talking delusional stuff,
uh
well, hold on.
yep, Eric, you gotta call, you gotta get it all right. Okay,
No,
there
I would
there
never wrongfully do that, but
yeah,
when
I
you
know
if
you
you
wouldn't.
start telling me the straw is writing a documentary, I'm going to be, contacting your
Oh, I thought
husband and
that
telling
was
him you need to go to the hospital.
no, that's Grok that does that for you, isn't it? So you gotta pick something else than the straw. But
Well, whatever, just
whatever
if
it
you
is,
start
I know
talking some nonsense,
when I
I
get
know
off
to
the
call
chain
him.
from yeah, when I get off the chain from my usual craziness, then you'll know to
Yep.
call. But
Oh, Blue Rose says, "D, you're all good, just don't quit. Not
yeah,
yet.
I hear. Yep.
Don't give up on that meds. Give it about a month. See how it
God, it's
goes."
rough, man.
I know it's
Headaches.
rough.
I know headache and shit and ugh, laughing her ass off.
The
Straw. Yeah,
straw.
for real.
I had to come up with something and I couldn't think of anything, so sue me.
It's pretty good though. But
I
it
I don't
is
usually talk in delusional fever.
there you go. Hey, Ann. Oh, crazy bee. The straw is starting to write on the wall. It's writing my autobiography. There you go.
There, that's when you call someone.
That's when
Okay,
you're going to
yeah,
call.
I've never had fever hallucinations and stuff, so I'm good.
So we're all good on that end. So we
Mhm.
just wanted to let everybody know. As a reminder, starting next week, programming changes to Tuesday through Friday. So we'll be live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 3 to 5. Saturdays we're off, although there'll be gaming and UFC if you belong to the Discord, uh, as well as gaming. Crazy Bee has a gaming channel as well. And
Game
then
like a
on,
mom,
yep,
also
game.
known as Glass,
Yes,
or the crazy bitch who's trying
It's
to learn how to play
glam.
games
It's
after 40
glam.
years.
It's
Oh,
glam,
Glam.
not
Glass
glass.
is my son. My
Yeah.
son, Game Like a Son. Yeah,
Yes, you're
we got
glam.
it.
You're glam.
You know what
And
it is. Just
yeah.
watch it and
I gave
enjoy.
her that name, by the way. She was game like a
Yes.
mom. And I was like, hey, that's glam, babe. Check that out. And so then on Sundays and Mondays, you'll get questions that need answers. With yours truly, maybe, probably not making an appearance, but we shall see. Definitely, probably not Sundays, but maybe on Mondays. We'll see. Um, and that's all in the summertime preparation, and we'll decide after Labor Day how we like that format. Uh, and then again, I talked to Crazy Bee this morning about my concern starting Tuesday after Memorial Day. We got baby JJ full time. And then the second week of June, Jacob starts with us all right as well. I mean, not all right as well. So I will have both boys with me and it's on. I have no clue what's going to happen between 3 and 5. So I am worried, but she told me that, hey, I'll mic my mute anytime I have to and, take care
Or
of
you cannot, or you can just leave it going and
and
all of a
whatever
sudden we
happens,
hear, "Oh
happens.
god, I got poop on my hands."
Yeah, that I'm sure the audience will enjoy that. We'll probably lose the little subscribers that we have. Oh my god, it's all the way up his back like it was yesterday. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Why is it that that always got to happen when the parents are away, huh?
Oh,
Anyway, and I
because
was like, and you forget, you know what I mean? You forget just how bad it is. Hmm.
just pray to God they never have to give them the charcoal capsules.
Why? What's that?
Fr um, if you've ever had a kid accidentally eat something they're not supposed to, and they're
Yep.
given the charcoal pills, and they will have tar, feces, s from head to toe. Like, my nephew, we just put him in the shower. We put him in the tub and turned on the shower. It was that bad. He was a year old, year and a half old, and that was the first time he ever took a shower, was because he literally from the top of the back of his head, behind his ears, all the way down both legs to his toes was this tarry black stuff because he got a hold of some what was it? I think was it Pine Sol or something, and decided to try drinking it. And yeah, it was a mess. I turned around and looked. in the kitchen, and there's mom and dad bickering, and he's right between them getting into the chemical cabinet under the sink. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So, yeah,
So they give charcoal capsules for the oh, what? Because the charcoal
to
absorbs
flush
it.
the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, to flush the system. Yep.
Oh, wow. Knock on wood, I never encountered that problem.
Oh, yeah, you do not want to encounter that one. That is some nasty diapers to change. Blue Rose, oh, damn. Yeah,
Oh,
it's not
that's
fun.
nasty.
It
That
is very nasty. Yeah, we just literally took him, clothing and all, into the tub, peeled the clothing off, turned on the water, threw the clothing away.
I was gonna say, yeah, fuck them clothing, man. They be gone. I don't care. Trash.
That's it.
Yeah,
Nope.
trash. There's some
Goodbye.
shit you just gotta throw away, you know?
Yeah, but I still don't understand how he got into that cabinet with his parents arguing right above him.
Because they
I,
weren't
I
paying
will never
attention.
understand that.
Yeah, because they weren't paying attention.
It's not the first and it wasn't the last, but we'll leave
Hmm.
that alone. That's another day.
Oh, you
But it
know,
was freaking hilarious.
I
But
should
that they got that they got the shitty diapers in return for it.
yeah, I should have had you pull up the two photos that I sent you today.
Oh, I could do that really quick.
Yeah. So as you guys, as Blue Rose knows and you know, there is a family issue going on today. And you know, my oldest works for his dad, and something transpired last night at the baseball field, and so there was a family to do. And I fully expected, I only found out about it this morning when my husband left. And Jacob calls me every morning before he gets on the bus. My daughter in law took him to the bus stop. And I'm like, oh, this must really be bad because where's EJ? Why doesn't have EJ have him at the bus stop? I'm like, this is way worse than I thought. So I knew that Eric and EJ were going to be together this afternoon. So
Mhm.
across my phone comes the following message. Hold on a second. Let me get it specifically what it says. Do, 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 do. Because I almost had a fit. The
It was
message.
funny because you hung up from me over
I
this.
hung up. I was on the phone with Crazy B. And it goes, so now mind you, I'm expecting a fight between EJ and his dad. This wouldn't be the first fight. And sometime, oh, they've come to blows a couple times. So I get the following message. This morning, he wants to fight. And I'm on the phone with Crazy B for show notes. And I go, oh my God, I got to go. And I hang up from her and I call her back in like, what, 2 minutes? And she goes, what
Yep.
the heck was that all about? And I
I know I
am
asked
laughing.
who's going to jail. I
Yes,
said, "Who's
she did.
going to jail?"
And I'm laughing my ass off. Well, here's who wants to fight. Yeah, that's the first picture.
Now, here's the second picture.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Look at his little finger. Look at
Uh
that little
huh.
finger. And when you go back to this one and you see that cute little fist, oh
Uh
yeah, he's
huh.
gonna knock somebody the F out.
Well, I told the two of them that he's decided don't anybody F with my big brother. That's kind of how I was. I
Yep.
mean, I was literally scared. I mean, I was worried that they were really going to be. I really thought it was going to be on today. I figured EJ was going to be quitting again for working for his dad, but I thought it was going to be that ugly because all I saw was he wants to fight this morning. And there's JJ with the fist ready to go. And then we got to be giving us the middle finger. What's up with that? Already?
Now
Six
you gotta
weeks old?
save these pictures for him for
Yeah.
when he becomes older, and you can say, "Look what you did when you were bad. You were trying
Yeah.
to fight us. You
Yeah.
gave us the middle finger." Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh huh. And there's Blue Rose, too adorable. Oh yeah, it's
Yep.
adorable. Scar-
I put that up on the screen for a
Yeah,
minute too.
yeah. Scared the crap out of me. I'm telling you, I thought it was on. I thought I
I
was
did
going to
too,
go.
because the way you
So
were
did
telling
I.
me about
The
it.
way I hung up, yeah, the way I hung up, I was like,
Well, because 'cause you'd already warned me that they'd been
yeah,
having a bit of an
yeah. And
issue.
it was going to be a bad day. Google was,
Oh, yes, he's gonna be Boss Baby, and yes, I'm very familiar. I've
oh, I
seen it.
know
I don't know
Boss
if you've
Baby.
seen it.
Oh, I know,
Okay.
oh, yeah, we know Boss Baby 1 and 2. That was
Oh, yeah,
Jake.
your grandson's
Yeah,
old enough for
yeah.
that
Oh,
one.
yeah, we watched that repeatedly. Sticking the
Uh-huh.
pacifier in the wrong end.
Oh, that's not okay.
That
Why do
was
they even put that in kids' cartoons?
because they think it's funny, don't they?
Yeah,
I
but if
mean,
only they understood
I
it.
know if they knew. Well, technically, I mean, it'd be kind of difficult to get in there, but I don't know. He,
Uh,
but yeah,
there have been people who've died by things shoved in there. And by the way, there is an entire Reddit thing and on Instagram that is put up by nurses where they show an X-ray and you got to guess what's in the rectum.
no, really?
Yes, it is that frequent that people come into the ER with stuff stuck where the sun don't shine, and we got to figure out how to get it out because they couldn't.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, those are some of the best threads on Reddit and also on Instagram. You can follow them. It's a nurse's one. I can't remember because I gave up on Instagram a while ago. But
Yeah,
while I was working in medicine, oh yeah, oh yeah. And actually, I've actually I there's a doctor I follow, an ER doc, where he posts tutorials on how to read these X-rays and these CT scans and stuff,
yeah,
and you got to guess what the condition is, what the diagnosis is. And so I'll routinely post it on my server. And of course, Arby knows the answer before we do, but it's not for him, it's for us.
right, right. That's funny.
But he's allowed to jump in all he wants.
Right, right. That's funny. Uh,
Hold
oh,
on. What
Blue
did Blue
Rose
just
wants to
say?
know what's the craziest one that you've seen so far?
Personally, I've not dealt with it, but the ones that because again, I didn't work in the hospital, I did home health care. But
Right.
the ones I have heard were toy cars, um,
What?
the toy car. Yes, a Hot Wheels car.
Wow, what it drove itself in?
Don't know. There have been ping pong balls.
What?
Um,
Oh, come on.
there was a woman who came in with ping pong balls stuck inside her front side because she wanted to show people that she could shoot the ping pong balls back out.
Okay.
Yes, there is some wild things that happen. Or yes, people do interestingly strange things, especially when intoxicated. And then, of course, when you're sitting there, how did this happen? And they're like, you get from I sat on it, I don't know. Like, okay, so you sat on a chair with that in an upright position, and it's somehow bullshit. But we have to take them at the word. We can't call them out on bullshit. We just have
Right.
to document it the way they say it.
Say it happened.
There was someone with a soda bottle um, at one point. Yeah,
Wait. A whole soda bottle.
yeah. It was capped because if it wasn't capped, the air suction would have caused a prolapse, and that would have been even worse. Adult toys, etc. Yes, that stuff gets stuck all the time, but she asked for the weirdest. So I didn't go with the most likely. I went with the weirdest ones I've heard. Yep, bottles.
Jesus. A whole bottle. Like a
Yep.
sip. Okay.
And you know what? Because I'm uncomfortable with your grandson's picture while we're talking about
Yeah,
this,
take that
I'm
down. Go
taking
ahead,
that
take it down.
down.
Yeah. Well, I can't.
Yes,
Come on.
I swear to God. However, there's that thing going around about gerbils, and that actually has never been reported as happening.
Oh, I've
Gerbils
heard
up the
that.
rear
That's
end have
old.
not actually been medically reported.
Yeah, that goes way. That's a oldie. That's
That goes
way
back
back.
to I believe was it
The
Steve McQueen
70s.
or who was the other one? Richard Greer was where that started. Richard Greer.
Yeah, when they were saying he was gay,
Yes.
homosexual, I should say. Yes.
Whatever. Same
Yeah.
thing, different, whatever.
Different.
But
Different.
either way,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's not the
I
only
wouldn't be
orifice either.
surprised.
Exactly why
Okay.
I said there are some women who have gotten stuff stuck where babies are supposed to come from, and, yes, that's interesting as well.
Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised about the gerbil after what you said happened to sheep and goats and cows and stuff. So why wouldn't a gerbil or even a mouse be used? So
N no, they, insert the gerbil
I know, I know,
internally.
I
Okay.
know, I know that. I'm just saying, but I'm using that as a reference. If you're not going to try to have relations with other animals, why wouldn't, instead of saying, hey, the goat isn't cooperating tonight, let me just pull out the gerbil. You know what I mean? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Gerbil and A Date with Miss Michigan. And if you don't get the reference, you're either not from Michigan or you're not that old. Um, and I'm not explaining it here. Get it
Wait,
elsewhere.
hey, wait. Oh, could you answer that on questions that need answers?
Hell no.
Oh, you're cracking me up today, girl. Oh,
Crisco works wonders, but we're not doing that here. Oh my god.
oh my gosh.
Oh shit. There's actually been people who have reportedly taken their self-pleasuring
Yes.
fantasy things so far. They've died, and there've been. I've heard this from EMS. They went into this situation where someone had reported they hadn't heard from a guy in a while, and he was chained up in his basement with all kinds of toys where they didn't belong and all kinds of things. And whoever helped him get that way um bailed and left it for, and they never did figure out who. Given that the DNA was so extensively fucked. Um I don't even want to go further into details, but like, dude died strung up in whips and
In his
chains
basement. Yeah.
situation. Yes.
Well, I did tell you whoever buys my house, they'll be concerned about what we've been doing down in my basement with all those, yeah, hand to hand
If you've got
reference.
meat hooks in the basement, then
Not meat hooks. I've already told you about them. The grab bars on every single, some two on the
yeah.
yeah, rafters. That's the only way I can make it from the steps to get to the washing
Yeah,
machine.
but that's not as strange as like bondage straps in a corner with a bunch
True.
of toys and
So
whip
are you
and
telling me to
torture
hide the
devices.
clothesline and shit? Is that what you're telling me? Hide the
Yeah.
clothesline? Okay.
Those, even a clothesline is understandable in a
Yeah,
basement, but
true.
if you've got leather and spikes and stuff like that in, as a clothesline, then I could see, yeah, manacles, stuff like that, and
Manacles,
are
that kind
the
of
cop
shit.
stories, people are
Yeah,
much stranger than you want to know.
right.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they are very. Oh, the number of times I've walked into a patient's home and they refuse to pause the porn. And there was actually, I heard one story where a patient refused to stop pleasuring himself while the doctor was there, and the doctor and the medical assistant just walked out.
I would have stood there and waited to see how long it took them. You know what I mean?
There was did oh my god, we had one patient ask us if he could give himself a prostate exam so the doctor didn't have to. And I'm a visual thinker, and I'm trying not to bust out laughing. The doctor kept us cool. I'm praying to God I don't. Yeah, that was a rough one. That was a very rough one to keep a straight face on. Yes. And then the patients that are 70, 80 years old wanting their Viagra. Oh god. Yes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah.
Well, what was
Mhm.
his name? The one up in, what the heck was his name that wanted the old guy that wanted the Anna Nicole Smith? Was that the one
Oh,
that wanted the
yeah, I
Vi?
can't remember his name, I just
Yeah,
know her.
yeah,
I just know her as the I just know him because he was married to her and the
yeah,
family law
yeah.
arguments about it.
Uh huh. And I think he was trying to get her pregnant or some crap like that. I'm not reading that one. You can, Crazy
Ah!
Boo.
Ah! I'm not reading it either,
I'm
but
not,
I'm sure
we're
gonna
not
leave it up.
reading that
And you
one.
know what? I remember that as a kid. I was in like 4th grade when kids started repeating that kind of
Uh
crap.
huh. Yep.
And same with Toys R Us. They
Yes.
changed up to the old commercials to the Toys R Us one. I can't remember
Yep.
exactly how it goes, but it ended up going with whips and chains and a few other things. So,
Hmm.
or the dating in the old folks home. STDs are more rampant in nursing homes than they
What
are
do you
high
even?
schools and
Yeah.
colleges
Hey,
because they don't got to worry about protection because nobody's getting pregnant, but they don't think about the other things. Oh
hey,
my God,
wait.
number of
What
times we've
about?
treated STDs.
Yeah. And what about the bull crap that went on while I was in the nursing home for the 31 days?
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh. Hey, D, would you like a conjugal visit? Uh huh.
Well, they allow it between
Yeah.
spouses,
Oh, I know that.
but they don't realize that
Right.
it's not just the spouses. Sometimes there's other people that are hooking up with other people all throughout.
Right. But even so, you think a conjugal visit was going to happen way down the hallway and up the elevator and through the next hallway? And Eric
People
has
take
this.
them up on this all
I
the
know,
time.
and Eric has a nice smile on his face when he leaves, and we're going to be like, wonder what was going on in there.
We're
And
all
then
adults. Everybody figures that's
I
gonna
know,
happen
and
no
then there
matter
was
what.
not even a lock on the door, and you heard them. It was like bang, bang, bang. I didn't even get to
Well,
say hello, and they were charging through the door.
but if they know that's what's going on, they
Uh,
will not knock on the door until you open the door. If they know
really?
that's what the visit's for.
Oh, okay. So he had to stop at the desk and say, "Hey, I want to have sex with my wife. Don't bother us for an hour."
Yeah, pretty
I see.
much.
I see. Nah, wasn't gonna happen.
I wouldn't be able to pull it off either. I
No.
wouldn't. I'd be like, "No, you're wait until I get home."
Yep.
But that's something I don't have to worry about ever. So, we're good.
Hey, don't ever say ever, cause you never know, girl.
Oh, I'm absolutely sure it's never happening.
Oh,
So,
you know what? You're way too
on
young
to the
for
further
never.
topics. On to further topics. We're supposed to be here talking about corrupt politicians. 35 minutes in, and we are now talking about conjugal visits at nursing homes.
I don't know. Somebody in the chat started it, not us.
That's what Blue Rose, before she even put, okay, I pulled
Yeah,
this up, did not read
she.
it. And I just realized we're 35 minutes in, now 36 in a few seconds. And yes, how did we
Hey,
get to this point exactly?
wait.
Oh,
We
I
never.
remember the
Hold
crazy
on.
things found in people's orifices. Yes,
Correct.
Jasmine, I'll stop yelling.
Okay,
For
hold
fuck's
on.
sake.
First off, we never claimed to be a specific you tune in, this is what you're going to get channel. Do you
Yeah,
see the
but
name of
this is
our
to dis
channel?
but this is divert the conversation from me back to the topic because I don't like talking about me in
I
this specific topic.
oh, is
So,
that what we're
back
doing?
to what we're supposed to be doing.
I see. That's how that's going to work. Okay, I know you too well. All right, Rex sister, get to it. What do we got up first? I don't even know what you decided we were going to pull off since
Well,
I
I've
sent
got
you so much
Elon,
shit.
Omar, and John Fetterman today since you decided to bombard the crap out of it. Even if we don't get through all the videos on the list, y'all can feel free to go through the rest that are going to be in the description. Um, what? This isn't an applicable this isn't applicable to politicians? Oh, I
Yeah.
know it is. I
Uh huh.
know it is. I wonder how many politicians have been in the ER with something like that, and it's just hidden from the public.
Did you ever see Mitch McConnell's face?
The turtle dude?
Yeah. The guy
Yeah.
from. Mm hmm. Yeah. Go ahead. Keep playing. Go ahead. Just hit play. I don't know what order she has anything in or anything. I just know I
There's
blew
never
up
a
her D.
specific order.
You know what? Hold on before we go there. What was the in betweener? Do you have the or were we going to save Scott for later? Did you get to him at all? Scott
Um,
Jennings.
I can I can pull it up, if we have time. I will definitely cover it today.
Okay.
So I know you sent over a fudge ton of things to
Is
cover
that the
on these
word you're
people.
using? Fudge ton? Okay.
after I just used a ton of cuss words earlier, um,
Okay.
a fudge ton
Uh,
of things. We don't have to cover every single one, but it will be in the description if people want to go and look at these things on their own
yeah.
further.
If she would
So
if she wouldn't sleep at night, uh maybe she'd be able to get some of this stuff done, but I don't know what to
it
tell.
was done.
I know it was done.
Actually, I
You did
did
a
get
good
the
job.
editing for that one video done. There
I
was
know
only
you
one video that you requested editing for, and most of it is articles and a
I
few
know.
little YouTube and X clips that I can play without a problem
Hey, you're
because
the
'cause they're
one
from
that
a news
said
station, so no
you're the
editing
one that
needed.
said to go get articles. So I got
Yeah,
articles. Okay.
but I thought but we had discussed for the sake of
I
everybody
know we
and
did.
time, 1 article, 1 video,
I
and
know.
here we are.
And here
I
we
love
are,
it.
but I couldn't help myself after seeing all this. So, okay, so uh
This is actually one I posted, for, is she is introducing the Somali president in 2004 visiting Minneapolis. In
2024, right?
2024.
Right.
Yup. Now
Okay.
listen to how she does this, because we're gonna get back to I can see why Trump fucking said make them English the national language. Everything has to be in English, and it's probably partially because of this video. And by the way, listening ain't gonna do you shit. Just read the subtitles.
Okay.
annaga haddii aan nahay dad Soomaali ah waxaan nahay dad isjecel waa laga yaabaa meelaha qaarkood inaan isku xagxaganno laakiin haddii runtii ay imaato waxaan nahay dad isku tashto dad walaalo ah dad dhiig lah dad isku og inay Soomaali yihiin inay Muslim yihiin oo iyagana isku hiiliya dadka walaalahoodna u hiiliya marka daraad markii ayaan dhexdaas markii aan maqalnay in qaar Soomaali ah ama Soomaali sheegato in Ethiopia ay la galeen ma baqaan af Soomaali wixii lagu dhaho agreement heshiis Maxamuud Nuur hadda aniga Soomaaliga badiyo soo ceeb ma aha.
She is right now struggling because she's not super fluent in Somali. You could tell she's not a native speaker because she came to America at such a young age, which is why she's struggling to find the right word to use. But this pisses me off. As a US representative, because she got voted in 2019, she is greeting a foreign leader in a different language other than English. Any language other than English is absolutely unacceptable. And if you keep reading what she's saying, you can tell she's more loyal to Somalia than America. And we still got 3 minutes to go.
I'm shaking
Um,
my head in case you can't see it.
we cannot see. But
Okay.
I'm going to hit play. She has a lot of fucking nerve to do this as an American representative of our federal Congress. So let's hit play.
dad badan ay soo wacay oo waxay leeyihiin ilhaan dowladda Mareykanka
The
inaan la hadashid
Somalians
waaye dowladda
encouraged her to
Mareykanka
speak to the
maxay
US
ka qabanaysaa jawaabteeda waxay ahayd dowladda Mareykanka waxay ka qabanaysaa wixii annaga aan dhahno dowladda Mareykanka qabo waa kalsoonidaas inaan isku qabno annaga Soomaali haddii aan nahay wadankan annaga ku nool wadankan wadankii aan annaga tax ka dhiibno waaye waa wadankii gabar idinka dhalatayne ee Congress-ka fadhiso intii aniga aan Congress joogo wadanka Soomaaliya biyaheeda dad kaleeta iyo
she does not have the right to say that Somalia will never be in danger because she's in Congress. She does not run the whole Congress.
Exactly.
Oh, that's an older comment. Sorry. I just realized it was from 6 minutes ago. Yeah. So I'm going to push play again. She's making promises she ain't going to be able to keep.
Exactly. But I'm sure they believe her.
Oh, I'm sure they do too. That's why they voted for her. But I have an issue with this. are totally inappropriate. If you want to speak some other language in private, but at a public event, no way. A public event as a political person. It's not even a charity event or anything like that. No, this is her acting as a state representative and not speaking in English. Let's continue because this isn't the only time she's done this. There's another time. I'll bring it up after this.
badeeda dad kale ma qaadanayaan wadanka Mareykankana kuma taageerayo dad kaleete in annaga ayna dhacaan marka taas ka seexda reer Minnesota gabadhii Congress u dirsateen way idinka war haysaa sidaad idinka u dareemaysiin dantaas ay u dareemeen madaxweyne Xasan Sheekhna waxaan leeyahay waan kugu faraxsanahay shaqada fiican aad qabatay.
Actually, you know what? I think this is the one you sent, D.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not
or
sure.
Is this the one I sent? I can't remember.
Well,
There's a couple of them.
Yeah, we have a couple of them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So let's just hit.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is not okay.
In dadka Soomaaliya iyo dadka meel kasta ku nool aad dareensiisay si kasta anaga aan u dhibanahay Soomaali hadii aan nahay waxaan nahay dad karti leh dad wadankooda aqoonsan dad wadankoodii aan wiligood danger laga gelin karin marka waxaan reer Minnesota iyo Soomaalida meel kasta ku nool adeerkaya hadda mar dhow ka hadlaayay idinkaga hambalyeynaya sida aad iskugu wada duuban tihiin sida aad kulligiin u garab istaagteen madaxweynaheena because wuu u baahan yahay in kulligeen aan garab istaagno Soomaaliya waa Soomaali Somalia waa hal.
Oh, now she's mad because 45% of Somalia's population isn't even Somalian. But
Funny.
where is she?
Yeah.
Where is she? And what has she been bitching about in America when it comes to the borders?
Exactly. Well, she hasn't been bitching about the border.
No, about us trying to lock everybody out.
Exactly.
And I didn't want to I forgot that the subtitles were playing. Yeah, she loves Somalia, but lives here. Give me a break. Yes, exactly. This pisses me off. It really does. But we still got a minute. Almost a minute. I think
So
we
you're
can
going to
through
get
this
madder.
30 seconds.
Yeah, you're going to get madder.
Yeah, it's...
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, this is what I mean by corrupt politicians. Listen to what they're saying and watch what they do. 9 times out of 10, they're fucking us over.
walaalaan wada nahay dhulkeena lagama kala qeybsanaayo dhulal baa naga maqan aan raadsanaynaa insha Allah mar maalinta laakiin inta aan haysana hadda lama kala qeybinaayo marka waa mahadsantihiin dhamaantiin sidaad ii sharaftiin oo markasta aad iigu soo dhawaysiin ilaahay idin sharfo assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh.
That is messed up, to say the least. And I know I've got more of her. Just give me a second as I get ready to pull it up.
Yeah, what district is she in? She's from where? Michigan?
Well,
No,
if that's
that's,
Minneapolis, she's in Minneapolis. That's Missouri.
Okay.
Is Minneapolis in Missouri?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay. Oh, that's that one that you sent. Here's the one I've got as well. This one is the one where she was inviting the president from another country. Let's hit play on this one. It's only 1 minute and 10 seconds long.
in caawa aan fursad u helay
Oh, here
madaxweynaha Soomaaliya madaxweyne Xasan Sheekh Maxamuud inaan maanta ku soo dhaweyno Minneapolis aniga iyo madaxweynaha special relationship aan qabnaa aniga adeeraan ugu wacaa asigana gabarteeyu idhahaa madaxweyne sidii qof kasta uu u yiri mininkaaga waaye ku soo dhawow Minneapolis aad iyo aad aan ugu faraxsanahay in maanta madaxweynaheena aad tahay.
Whoa. She's happy he is our president?
Was he welcomed in the White House, do we know?
I'm sorry?
Was he welcomed in the White House?
I am not sure. Art just said it too. Our president? I don't think so. You can tell she is not loyal to America. How the fuck is she calling the Somalian president our president and she's so glad he's our president? Bitch, you live in America. You are an American citizen. You do not have dual citizenship last I knew. She was rescued and brought to America at the time of that Black Hawk Down situation.
Right.
The Black Hawk one. That's when she was brought to America with her family.
Well, this is where it all goes to the whole talks that we've had about, being able to assimilate to America. I don't have a problem with the culture that you want to bring with you, but you still have to assimilate. But that then leads me to that whole, where's our mission statement on what our values are and, what is it exactly to be an
Here's
American?
my question. How does someone so radical get to write laws in America?
Exactly. Well, there's some bills that she tried to pass.
I've got that pulled up. We're going to cover that next.
Okay. All right. I'll back off. All right.
No, we can talk about it. I just want you to know I have it pulled up.
Okay, Cole. I knew you'd be ready to go.
Assimilation generally takes at least 2 generations. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say in my family, though. No, actually, I would say my great-grandparents and my grandparents were more patriotic than my parents' generation and my cousins.
Yeah, they were happy to be here.
My grandfather
wanted to come
told
here.
me.
Yeah,
my grandfather literally told me, don't ever move to another country. There is no country better than America. And this was back in the 80s and 90s. When I was talking about wanting to go visit Europe.
Yeah, when my great-grandparents and came through Ellis Island and that, there was certainly something to be said for that time and era.
Yeah, well, I look at what the era of what was going on in the countries when my family moved here.
Mm-hmm.
In the mid-20s, 1920s. It was between World War I and World War II, and there was a lot of messed up stuff, unless you take it my dad's side, which immigrated from Poland in the 1890s, but, that's a whole different thing. There is a difference between happy to be here and fully assimilated into culture. And my great-grandparents and my grandparents assimilated quite well. I'm only the second generation on my mom's side and the fourth on my dad's. So I can actually say from living and breathing and being told stories by someone who wasn't born here and came here at a young age through Ellis Island, what it was like, and the stories he had been told by his father. Because my understanding is his mother is buried in what's now Bosnia, used to be Yugoslavia. World War II fucked that shit up. Actually, World War I and II fucked it up. But his birth mother died some years back when he was still a young boy, and that's one of the reasons my great-grandfather brought his 2 children to America, and was because it was pure chaos, and there was no way he was going to be able to raise 2 kids there alone.
Right.
And so he came to America. It's just one of those things, And again, they also moved shortly after their country was officially freed from slavery from Turkey. Because, Turkey loved going into the Czech Republic and Yugoslavia and enslaving people. That wasn't until the 1920s that happened.
I didn't know there was slavery in other countries. Really?
Well, no, what's crazy is that it wasn't ended until like 1920.
I'm being a smart ass crazy
I
bitch.
know you are. I'm just stressing the point because a lot of people seem to think America bad for slavery, even though it ended
Uh-huh.
140 something fucking years ago, almost 160 years ago, I should say. Um, yeah, actually 60
Oh,
years
well, you know
in
what?
1865. It's been 160 years.
Let's change subject real quick.
Yeah,
So yesterday was Cinco de Mayo, correct? Was
Cinco de
yesterday
Mayo if you're really
Mayo,
bad at
Mayo,
Spanish.
Mio? Hey, I'm from the north. Don't start Louisville. Uh,
Actually, no, you actually got it right. Cinco de Mayo.
okay, so today is Tuesday, correct? Yes, it
Mhm.
is. Okay, so if I told you, what is he doing home already? What time is it? It's 4 o'clock. Geez, he's coming home earlier and earlier. Um,
Yeah.
uh, if you would have only seen how many people were out and about on, now I don't belong to TikTok, but some people sent me some things, and
Yep.
on YouTube saying that if you supported Trump, you were not allowed to have a margarita. You could not
How are
have
they going to enforce
tacos.
this shit?
You could not have quesadillas. Here's the one that I didn't understand was for all day yesterday, you were only allowed to drink water. Like, why
Fuck
not?
them. I'll do what the hell I please. They
I
don't
know, but
control
why
me.
weren't you
I
allowed
got middle
to have
fingers.
Kool-Aid or something? I don't understand. Why was
Oh,
it?
because oh, never. Nope, I can't say it. Damn it! I have something I want to say, but it's totally considered racist, and I would get into a lot of trouble. But I know my friends who are black gave me permissions, and we often joked about this, but I can't because I'll get in trouble. Fuck. Sorry, I have a joke to go with it, but I can't.
Oh, you can't. Oh, it's a joke.
It's
Okay.
about Kool-Aid. It's about Kool-Aid, and it would get me in a lot of trouble.
Okay, then don't do it because we can't afford to be taken down because we're
We
not.
cannot, but I
Yeah.
really have. Oh my god! I want to board it out so bad.
Okay, calm yourself. We'll send it to a friend who can post it. How about that?
I'll
Anyway,
just put it on the Discord server.
there you go.
No one
Put
there
it
gets offended.
in. Hey, babe. Um. Uh. I didn't understand the whole taking. Now they are just absconding with the whole Hispanic culture for the day just because you voted for Trump. Don't they realize how many Hispanics voted for Trump? Are they
Hey, have you
not?
ever seen the pictures of Mexico on Cinco de Mayo?
No.
Streets are empty. No one gives a fuck.
There you go.
Only people who
Okay.
care are Americans. They do not celebrate Cinco de Mayo like Americans celebrate the 4th of July. They do not.
Yeah.
So why does it make matter?
Uh huh.
Only Americans give a shit about that holiday.
Right.
Like St. Patrick's Day.
Right. Yeah.
LOL, literally. Yes, Blue Rose knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, does she? Okay. Um. So that it's just another excuse for Americans to get drunk, then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so for them to sit there and say, well, you can't do this on this day because you voted for Trump, I've got two middle fingers for them.
Yeah. I didn't quite understand that. I thought that we were past that kind of thing, but I guess not.
Oh, no, no, no. They're desperate because they have nothing else to argue about or argue with. And so you must hate Mexicans if you voted for Trump.
Exactly. That's
No.
exactly the message that was trying to be said. And they don't realize the number of Hispanics that voted for him. Okay.
Sorry. Or I don't know if you saw his first comment. It goes,
No.
when you mentioned Kool-Aid, I think Jim Jones. And then he goes, I also worked for Jim Jones, a different one, and he had a Kool-Aid. He had Kool-Aid in the fridge.
No.
I
I
I would if I had that name, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, that would have been funny. He probably
Oh,
drank it too.
yeah, but I would have made sure it
I
was
would have been
funny
worried, Art, if
tasting.
he would have offered you some. If he would have said, "Hey, Art, here, have some of my Kool-Aid," I hope you said no.
I would have been like, give me that bitch. I would have checked the whole fucking thing.
Oh, honest to God.
I have a
Okay,
really bad sense of humor, and I would do that.
there
You
you go.
watch.
Okay, I'm miking my mute for a second while I try to find some anti-nausea meds. I'll be right
I'm
back.
gonna hit play to try to get
Go
through the
ahead,
last of
keep
this
it going.
video.
You keep it going till I come back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
soomaaliya dadka meeshaan wada joogoo dhan waa gurigooda annaga ma dareensannihin in ay naga tahay meel naga fog soomaaliya wadnaheennay ku nooshahay qalbigeennay ku jirtaa maalin kasta aan ka fikirnaa soomaaliya
Then move there. Why the hell are you here? Move there. There's only 1 second left. I'm not wasting my time on it. If Somalia is so important to you, why the hell are you here?
And
Someone tell me that.
because she apparently is suffering from some type of childhood trauma. I forget how
Well,
old she was.
yeah.
How old was she when she moved here? I forget.
Hold on. Let me Google that really fast.
Yeah. Was she real young or was she like 8?
I think she was under 10. She was
Yeah.
born in 82. She came here in like the 90s. So she was like 10.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say around 8.
She became a US citizen at 17 years old in 2000. So they came here in 97. So
Oh.
she was actually quite older. That explains a lot. If she came here in 97, she was born in 82, she would have been 15 when she came here.
And so in 2 years, she was able to become a U.S. citizen when it takes
3 years.
How many?
3 years.
Okay.
3.
So why does it take other people that are coming in 10 years?
She was brought over at an asylum situation, and
so they
it was for political.
cases.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a special case where it was kind of rushed.
And we see where that gets us, huh?
Now they're saying actually she was 12 when she came here in 1995. I see that's from the government website. Hold on, the government website said she came here at 12 and became a U.S. citizen at 17 in 2000. She was born in 82, so
that's still interesting that that wow.
Yeah, she came here in 1995 at 12 years old. She would have been just about to be 18 when she became a citizen. So it took 5 years.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that. When others
Well, that is I think that's about the average time.
I thought it was 10 years.
Oh, hold on. Unless she had a green card and then worked it up, or I don't know.
I don't know anything. We will be finding out immigration policy, citizenship when my books get here, right? So I don't know anything about it.
Oh, it could take anywhere from 10 to 12 years. So they must have expedited the process.
I thought the average was 10 years.
The marriage route can take 3 to 4.
The what can take 3 to 4?
If you're married, it could take 3 to 4 years.
Okay. So I don't know how I feel about 2 things. One, somebody that came from a war-torn country that was sent here, right?
Mm-hmm.
2, somebody that was a minor but ultimately became an adult at 18. Those were rather traumatizing times from what I recall from her story. the war and the devastation that she saw, how does she, did she go through counseling for that kind of stuff, or did they just
Probably
throw her into
not.
the, no, they probably just dropped her into the US and said, here, have at it. I don't know
Yeah.
her story, but this would kind of make sense for a longing of home, why she is Somalia, right? And you can
She's all
see
pro Somalia.
exactly.
All Somalia in my heart. Speaking
Uh-huh.
Somalian. No wonder why some of the other politicians have an issue with her.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you found that video about the pay to vote thing in
Yes.
Somalia
Mm-hmm.
that was under her as well. Let me pull that
Right.
up. She was educated in the hate the
J words. Yeah.
Jay's world,
Uh-huh.
the Jewish and
Right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, Americans
Are
aren't more
more like
liked
than them.
than the Jays in that system.
Uh,
Yes. Um,
hey JJ.
first, oh, you're Cused? Who's Cused? What's Cused? That's a new number. You
Question.
were first. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing good today. I thought it said, how are you guys? Well, no, yeah. Anyways, we just dropped you here. Pretty much say good luck, and this is supposed to help them.
Well,
Oh,
that's
you
what
meant
they did.
first.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what they did here. I told you they sent.
They literally picked her up from a war-torn country, brought her here, dropped her off, and fast-tracked the process for
Mhm.
them. And there's a problem with that.
And
Because look who we now got in Congress.
exactly. And I told you what they did here. They sent 2 plane loads after the debacle that Mr. Biden did in
Yep.
Afghanistan. They sent 2
That we're
plane
all men.
loads, right? They sent 2 plane loads. They gave them everything: housing, clothing, food, education, health care, blah, blah, you name it, they got it. And you know who sponsored them? The J Federation.
Yep.
Go figure. They want to unalive them, but yet they're going to sponsor them. Make that make sense,
I know.
you know?
I know. It's really hard to
Hey,
understand.
There's the Rumble bot. Just in case, please like, comment, share, and follow us. Thank you,
Yep.
everybody,
Please
for
do.
stopping in and joining us today. We appreciate it. So,
Art says, I hear you, D.
I bet you hear
Yeah.
me.
Here's one we can all agree on. This
Mhm.
is a disaster.
Yeah, go.
But if you watch this undercover camera, they're going to
Uh-huh.
get paid for ballot harvesting. Watch. And
Project Veritas has received an explosive piece of tape. The tape you're about to see shows a man
I don't have
buying a
sound on this
registration
one,
form
Crazy
for an
D.
absentee ballot.
really?
No. Does
Did you
anybody?
accidentally mute it?
I don't know.
There's the little speaker button above both the
Oh, hold on.
output one and the
Hold
editor
on.
mode
Okay.
one.
It wasn't okay, go ahead. Let's see now.
From a voter, giving
It
him,
works.
quote,
Thank you. I
pocket
don't know
money,
why it
unquote,
went back
of
on.
I don't know why it muted, but do you got so you have
I
audio
got
now?
it. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
No. And this video's back from 2020, just so everyone knows.
$200 and expecting to collect his ballot when the voter receives it.
And they're not speaking English.
That's illegal. Why?
We don't care illegal. أنا بالعقل اللي سي وانا فوق.
How much are you?
Good one.
She's the one who came up with all this.
So she did it. She
Yeah.
started this whole thing with
Yeah.
the pay to vote.
Yeah.
الهانية جروب تاني.
How is she still in office 4 years later?
Well, because
5 years?
did Merrick Garland investigate her?
I don't think anyone has, except Project Veritas,
Mm-hmm.
which is now the O'Keefe Media Group. But yeah,
Right.
yep. This is not okay, but she just got into office. She got elected in 2019. What's she doing? They have proof. Why isn't she in jail?
I can't answer that, Crazy B.
I just pointing it out for those who might be in power to do something and are maybe watching this. Unlikely, but send it to the politicians. How the hell is this okay? Let's listen to the last minute.
So the people that work for Ilhan are actually counting the ballots, counting the vote.
And they become a manager in the prison too.
They walk with you to the booth, and then they vote. Oh, vote this guy, vote this guy, vote this guy. Vote even if you speak English.
haddana al-shabaab ay ii siyaareen al-shabaab kuna iga rabaa.
JJ says she has to be in due process is why she isn't in jail. Yeah, understatement.
The reason she's fighting for Palestine is because of this guy. So it's all about money and power, and they want her to defend Israel. Man.
There's all the laws she just broke. While we're at it, let's take a peek at what laws she's been doing.
Well, if she's anything like her squad members, probably nothing.
Let's take a peek. She's only sponsored 112 since 2019, but she has co-sponsored almost 2,000. She wants to amend Section 287 of the Immigration and Nationality Act with respect to certain uniform requirements. Okay, why does it matter what uniform? Oh, you're back?
I hung up on myself.
It happens, even to the
I
best of us.
I know.
Bunch of this, an amendment to the FDA Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act to allow for the imports of affordable and safe drugs by wholesale distributors, pharmacies, and individuals. Not necessarily a bad thing. The amendment to Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970 to expand coverage under such act to public employees. Public employees are under that act. OSHA.
Oh, what she
automatically.
Yeah.
Why do they got to change it?
I don't know. What does she want to change?
Probably some nonsense.
Oh, she wants to
doesn't make a
expand the
difference.
coverage.
Oh no, that's action.
Probably is
Oh, there's no text available yet.
Of course.
Okay,
'cause
so we can't
she
even read
filed
it.
Yep.
Oh, she just filed that on
Yep,
May
that's-
1st.
Wow, they're really busy. The end of April and the beginning of May, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Remember? The other ones we saw were for Pres
The same
and
thing.
AOC work. Uh-huh.
To amend certain acts related to housing to adjust rental payments with respect to certain federal rental assistance programs, to ban sources of income discrimination in housing, to reform and expand the Housing Choice Voucher Program, and for other purposes.
What's the date
Oh,
on that? May 1st?
May
Yeah,
1st. We're not going to
won't
find
be any.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, to regulate assault weapons. So any
Ooh,
scary looking weapon is an assault weapon, according to Congress. Just
right.
so everyone knows, there is no actual such thing. If it was used in the military, our guns that we buy in the stores are not the same as what the military uses. Not even close. But our quite a few of our military guns got sent to the cartels thanks
Right.
to the ATF and Obama being complete incompetent. Anyways, I'm going to shut up. I don't want to get arrested. um to authorize the Attorney General to provide grants to states, units of local government, and organizations to support recruitment and training and development of staff and infrastructure needed to support the due process rights of individuals facing deportation. Oh,
Oh,
something you guys didn't think to put in place before you opened the fucking border?
no. They thought they were going to stay. They thought that Harris was going to get in.
Oh,
Yeah. Remember that she was a shoo-in. Isn't that what we were told? Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh. See how that went.
Military grade weapons are on the illegal black market. Yes. Art says they're actually in session for about 2 weeks every quarter, so that's when all the activity happens. So they
Yeah,
only work for 2 weeks out of 3 months.
pretty much. Because they have to go home to help out their constituents. Then they have fundraising things they have to do, and they have to attend the Met Gala, and they have all these public speaking engagements. That's why you don't see anybody's asses in the well of the house.
Oh,
Yeah,
nothing new. Let's
exactly.
see. To repeal Section 04 B12 of the Office of National Drug Control Reauthorization Act of 1998 and for other purposes. Bet you there's no text on that one either.
No, why don't you try scrolling down and see if you can find like a date from March or February? See if we get a hit on anything.
Let's go back. These have all been introduced. That's April 9th, April 8th, April 8th. Oh, we looked at these because of Ayanna Presley.
Right.
Oh, Lordy.
They must have got together at lunchtime and said, hey, let's write this bill up. And we can go back to work. We can submit it and leave.
Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act of 2025. Let's see. This is from April 8th. Hey, there's text available.
No.
Let's see what it says. It took them over a month. Almost a month. To amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to reform low-income housing credit and for other purposes. Holy Toledo, look at all these co-sponsors.
I'll bet they're all Democrats. Although there's
And a
Mr.
couple bad.
Comer's name. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Let's see. What do they want to do? This act may be cited as the Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act of 2025. Okay. Holy shit. This is
Hold
going to
on.
be a
Back
long
up.
one.
Back up. Yeah, back up a second. Student occupancy rules. How to increase tenant income. Tenant voucher payments. Requirements. Okay. To protect victims of domestic abuse. Well, there might be something good in there.
I like what Art says. Stop using the IRS for social engineering. Thank you. I bet they're all money laundering too.
Probably.
And let's see what these rules are. Reconstruction or replacement period after casualty or loss. Modifications or provisions, ownership rules. Limitations on acquisition basis. Certain relocation costs taken into account as rehabilitation expenditures. So, like when they're moving people out of rehab for drug or alcohol problems, or from jail back
Mm-hmm.
to society. Repeal of qualification census tract population cap. Period.
Crazy B, am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Nope.
I can hear her. She cannot hear me. Lovely. She'll be back. They want the amendments made by December 31st, 2025, and it's all to remove the term in general. That's what they want removed from here is the term in general.
Me this time.
Hello.
It wasn't me this time.
Oh, I could hear you. You couldn't hear me.
I know. It's the phone. When the phone rings, it cuts me right off. I can't hear a word you say. So we're gonna have to figure that out. Maybe tomorrow we'll do laptop stuff if you're up for it.
Okay. I'm good for it. Just to
All
say
right.
when and let me know,
Okay.
and I'll be there.
I'll be
So
there.
she wants to take out the word in general and just put it to qualified census tract, the term, instead of in general, the term. Nope. She wants in general removed
Yeah,
from that.
that's what I was complaining about the stuff that AOC and Presley was doing. They were taking out like, the number 1 and saying we don't need the number 1, we don't need the word the term. I mean, this is ridiculous work. This is
It
stuff
is.
that a
They're wasting
secretary.
time
Uh-huh.
nitpicking old laws over their wording
Mhm.
instead of making an actual change. Yeah, I have issues with this.
Okay, go back to some of the go
Oh,
back and see. I was just going to say, does it say anything there about the students or the domestic violence? I'm just curious.
I don't see anything.
But that's what the bill was supposed to be about, right? Or
No,
up
the bill
further.
is to amend the Internal Revenue Code
Oh,
to reform for low income housing credit and other
and other
purposes.
purposes. Okay. But when you went down further, it said that it was in the table of
To
contents.
reform modification for
Yeah,
student occupancy rules
yeah, right.
and requirements for low income credit supported housing to protect
Mm-hmm.
victims of domestic abuse. And we
Right.
can click on that and it takes us right to it. Oh, it's to strike certain words
Jeez. Wait,
and
scroll up.
insert
Did it
more.
say to strike the word and? By
Um,
striking and at the end of the clause. V. By striking the period at the end of the clause. 6. And by inserting quote and a comma. Oh my gosh.
and then this clause prohibits the refusal to lease to or the termination of a lease by a person solely on the basis of criminal activity directly relating to domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking that is engaged by a member of the household of the tenant or any guest or other person under the control of the tenant.
Wait. Let me just understand that. So I'm not allowed to lease something or terminate your lease if your criminal activity was directly related to domestic violence.
Yeah,
So you beat the shit out of your spouse and destroy my property, but I'm not allowed to terminate you. Okay.
I'm not allowed to evict you.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So how does
But
this
you
protect women?
right. And you've destroyed my property, my house. Okay. All right
They
then.
prohibit you from refusing to lease to or the termination of a lease by
Right.
a person solely on the basis of criminal activity directly related to
Oh,
domestic violence, dating violence, or sexual assault. So we can't kick out the dude who assaulted the lady next door.
wow.
If I'm reading this right. Anyone want to tell me I'm reading this wrong, please, and explain it to me.
That includes even an affiliated individual of the tenant
Uh-huh.
who's a yeah, uh-huh. So I'm the next door neighbor and just happen
It
to
literally says to
yeah,
strike the and add
mhm.
this to it.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like they're protecting many women,
No. Well, why would it? They weren't protecting them in the locker room. So why would they protect them in their own home?
but it's supposed to protect against domestic violence.
Mm,
This takes that protection away. If you read it,
I know. Crazy bee. I don't understand it myself.
how is this okay?
Well, hopefully whoever the criminal is that's going to attempt to lease your property doesn't have a high enough credit score to rent it. But once they're in, they're pretty much looks like you're stuck having them till the lease is up. That's messed up.
And that includes stalking your
Right.
neighbors.
Yeah. The household of the tenant or any guest or other person. Wow.
They want to take away your right to evict or refuse to lease to someone
Who?
because
Mm-hmm.
of dangerous behavior.
So what's it going to take till they unalive them, huh?
And even then,
And and even then, right? And even then, it's okay.
I hope this gets shut down, metaphorically. And the fact I even have to say metaphorically is bullshit.
Was there any notes under that by any chance? When you go up into the like the comments, I forget what it's called. Scroll up all the way.
All the way to the top.
Yeah, to the very top. What's it called? Um,
Oh, I gotta go right here.
yeah, actions. No, nothing. No amendments. Click on co-sponsors. I'm going to see if there's any Republicans supporting that. Oh yeah,
Democrat, a Republican from New York,
Penny is no shit.
a Republican from Iowa,
Wow.
Republican from Florida, Republican from Pennsylvania, Republican from Kansas, Republican from West Virginia,
Women too.
Republican from North Carolina,
There's got to be something that we're missing.
a Republican from Tennessee, Republican from Pennsylvania, Republican from Utah, New York,
Malakotakis is. Wow.
Ohio,
We got to be reading something wrong.
Indiana,
Well, I don't know. Are we reading it wrong?
Minnesota,
Well, either that or they didn't read the damn bill.
North Carolina. They
No,
probably didn't read the
Pennsylvania.
bill.
Yeah.
They probably co-signed this so they could get another bill that they wrote co-signed to go through.
Yeah, this just went through less than a month ago.
It was just written. These people all signed. Oh, there's a Republican from Indiana. There is a Republican from Minnesota again. California Republican. Michigan, I'm not surprised by. If you knowingly rent your home to drug dealers, the government can end up with your house. I am not sure I want to rent to people who are stalking. Yeah, but now they're telling us we can't refuse to rent to them.
I'm confused about this one.
Another
This,
Michigan
I
one,
mean,
another Ohio, Texas.
they can't possibly. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. How could you possibly support this just with that one section that's in there?
Because they got to do something to get something they want.
So it's going to. Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
You know, I thought my headache was going away. It's still back. It's
Oh,
back.
I'm getting one because of
Yep.
this. Oh, out of Kentucky, not my region, but still, Eastern Kentucky. Republican. Yep.
This is unacceptable. See, this is what. See, and how is the average person, say you're you have one home that you want to rent, a small house, you want extra income. How would you possibly even know about this law to begin with, let alone all the other laws that there are? But it's just sheer madness with
Which state is? Oh, Massachusetts.
yeah,
MT. No, Massachusetts is MA.
that's Montana, I believe.
Oh, Montana.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How is it that we have these literally hundreds of thousands of bills and paper and garbage
Yeah.
in the system that you could possibly know what's going on in the government? And they wonder why they bitch about the tax loopholes for the rich. It's because it's
Mm-hmm.
written in such a circular way that it's done that permits them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You and I were talking about some of the large corporations that we were talking about earlier today about both of our fathers.
Yep.
Why when we get to Fetterman, but why was it so many people that voted for Trump? And this took us back to, there was my dad. By the time I graduated, he was a window cleaner, and they were working for pennies for an hour as a union VP. They were fist fighting back then. This crap,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. We are so far gone off the rails right now. I don't know how we get all of this back with this. I don't know how many bills got all presented with this at one time. Hold on one second. Sorry. There's kung fu fighting going on in the living room.
I like
Anyway,
the song.
yeah, so do I. That's why I said it. They're beating the crap out of each other. Oh, and the dog will be barking shortly. And so how could we possibly keep up and know this type of stuff? This is just one little paragraph that was changed, right? How would you know that? It's not like this stuff gets sent to us in the mail and says, oh, by the way, you now have to provide services to those of domestic violence.
And then when people have to go to the landlord saying, I want this person gone, look what they've done, the landlord is going to be like, I can't.
Right.
Or a victim says, look, I don't want my ex-boyfriend moving here for my safety. The landlord's like, I ain't got no say over it. The government does.
Right.
What do you do? How do you handle it? That's not fair to the victim because now the victim's got to move.
This is just
This.
there is no possible way. This is where I get a headache of there's no possible way from a local to county to state to federal, that you could possibly know everything about anything. And is it always necessary? No, that's what I've always been told. As long as you surround yourself by good people or people that are knowledgeable, both pro and con, which is what I hope
Yeah.
Trump is doing this go around. Not like his first term. But how you can't, I don't know if these bills are presented one at a time or are they all coming down together. I mean, we talked
Oh, no,
about
they just
having a
introduced these to Congress, and now it's
right.
up to the other
It's
Congress
up to
members
speaker
to
too.
read it
Right.
and bother whether they're
Right.
going to the speaker, whether they vote on it or not.
He has to bring it forward or not. But I mean, I certainly would not want my name attached to that. So why would they put their name out there? Again, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Why would you
Because
want
if
your
they don't do that, then the Democrats won't work with them on passing one of their bills, the Republican sponsored bills.
yeah.
That's why this shit keeps happening. If I won't allow this bill to go through unless you work with us on this bill. And this way and that way. And it's back and forth. The Republicans do it to the Democrats as much as the Democrats do it to the Republicans.
Right.
Republicans want a bill passed about oil drilling. Well, fine. Democrats will say we won't pass it until you sign this off on transgender something.
Right.
And if the Democrats want something on this, then well, we're not signing it unless you do that.
Right.
This probably started because guy in number 4 was harassing a gal in number 4, and he got evicted in a legal process, which these people see as unfair. That's true. She gets to stay, he goes away because he abused her, and yeah, how that's not fair. Or how about the women that abuse men? Shall we get started on that little secret that nobody likes to put a spotlight on?
Right.
Don't get me started on that one because I have been known to put a few girls in their place for that.
Yep.
My kids will tell you about the time I threw one to the floor by her hair. And then I got arm barred to a wall because she was 1/3 my weight. So, yeah.
I mean, it's
This is
still it seems like such a waste of time because even if you say, okay, I'll sign on this if you sign on mine, it still is going to come down to the vote. And then you wonder why, the Dems are always able to stay in lockstep, where it's always
Mhm.
0 votes. I mean, I truly don't know how they do that. Where on the Republican side, they're just such a bunch of wusses. You get this one, that one.
Yep.
I've seldom seen them in lockstep. Seldom.
Yep, because we have a lot of corrupted politicians
Mm-hmm.
in Congress. And then
Exactly.
again, I know Fetterman has a bad history, but they're trying to remove him, and I think it's more because he's been siding with the Republicans than the Democrats, and they're worried he's going to flip.
Yeah. If he was smart, he would.
If he was smart, it would be very wise to dip.
Yes, he would.
Well, he's ahead like the rest of these politicians and sheriffs on local levels are even doing.
Right.
And again, here's the thing that you go back to history, and our founding fathers did not want political parties because of this kind of fighting. They wanted a uniparty where everyone worked together to fix America and keep America right. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a uniparty." That's what the founding fathers wanted, was a uniparty. And now everyone's freaking out about it because we have two parties that are basically working together to screw America over.
Exact. I wouldn't disagree
That's what
with
I
that.
have a problem with. I don't think it should be Republican or Democrat. I think in general, we need to boot them all out and start fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much of this stuff just dies without a vote and how much actually moves through. I suspect a lot is DOA.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't
It's
think
just to
it's
waste
that.
time.
Yeah,
It's to
it's a
waste
waste of
time and make
time.
money.
Mm-hmm.
And how many kickbacks would they get from this kind of stuff?
Yep. And how I'd learn how to play the stock market.
Yeah. They're
And
just killing time.
mm-hmm.
Making it they're busy doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's always busy doing nothing. That doesn't mean it's not worth looking at because it tells you who they are. Bingo. That is why we're doing this. Because these people need to be voted out. Because all they're doing is putting up all these bullshit things. They literally have nothing better to do but go back, look at old laws and say, we need to reword this. We need to reword this.
Oh, take the word "and" out. Put in a period.
Take the word "and" out, and oh, by the way, also you're not allowed to refuse to lease to stalkers and drug dealers and
Right.
criminals and
Right.
Domestic abusers.
Right.
Yeah. Take out the word and by the way, you're no longer allowed to refuse leases to these people.
Correct.
How's that okay? Someone tell me how that's okay.
I don't know.
Tell me why the hell people are still voting for these people.
That's the problem I have.
I don't get it.
I don't understand
Make it make
either.
sense.
That's why I'm at the point of everybody should get a certain dollar amount. We should have term limits. Everybody get a certain dollar amount. You spend that dollar amount on whatever you want. Print, media, whatever. What
Here's
and
my thing.
here,
Congress does not get raises. You're in, you're out. You did your service, goodbye.
Yep.
Get back to the workforce. Wait till we get to Nancy Pelosi and you see what a mess that one is. We haven't even gotten to the worst of them. I'm
No.
leaving Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters for last.
For last. Yep.
There's a reason. Replace his duty, etc., with some unisex term. Totally pointless expense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. That's
They
that
are
old
wasting
DEI.
tax dollars.
Yeah, there was that DEI.
They're changing the Constitution and the laws, creating more loopholes that shouldn't even be there, and they're just wasting our time. They're killing us. And they want us to give them a raise every year.
Right.
I got 2 middle fingers. They don't deserve a raise. Those who keep voting don't know any better. Knowledge and research don't know any better knowledge and research than what Rex Sisters is providing. You're very welcome, JJ.
Thank you, JJ.
You're very welcome.
Although
I'm just so
we
fed up
are
with
bringing
it.
up the youngest of the JJs in the right format, so you'll
Yeah.
have to go watch at the beginning.
Yeah, that led to a very strange conversation you're going to laugh
Mhm.
about.
Yeah.
I actually had to pull the picture down because I didn't feel comfortable talking about that conversation with the baby
Right.
picture up.
But he'll appreciate where we're going with why they keep
Yeah.
voting them out. You and your 2 middle fingers. Already we have the youngest of the Rex Sisters crew with the middle finger at it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
Yeah.
part of it.
It's 6
Yeah.
weeks. It's 6 weeks old. Yeah, right. Okay.
6 weeks old giving it too.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Nini's
Whoop,
gonna
whoop,
bring them
young
up right.
JJ.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Nini's gonna bring them up right. All
But
right. What
people
else?
really pass this on. If
Yeah.
you truly know anyone who thinks these people are good, pass this video to them
Mm-hmm.
and ask them why it's okay for a stupid United States representative from Minnesota to be speaking in Somalian
Well, not
in
only
America
that, just
on official business.
right. I would show them this bill as a talking point into
That too.
either Republican or Democrat or Independent or Libertarian. Look at what's
And I don't
being
care what
done.
other good stuff is wrapped in this bill.
Neither
That
do I.
clause alone,
Right.
nope, it goes nowhere.
Correct. But this is what's going on in Congress, and this is why you need to pay special attention to who you're voting for.
She wants to pass a law where you're not allowed to refuse to rent to a stalker or a boyfriend
Or yeah,
who abuses
or a
the crap out of
husband
his
that
girlfriend or
yeah.
the kids.
I don't understand.
Got my blood boiling here. Got my blood boiling at this point. And the fact that there are Republicans willing to co-sponsor this who've probably never read it.
Well, you're saying that they're trying to do tit for tat here, so I don't know.
That
There's
too.
probably
Well, of course.
yeah,
Why read it? I just need my bill to get passed, so let me
exactly.
sign off on it.
Right.
This is not okay by any means.
Nope. All right. Well, let's
Sorry,
try
my
to
eyes are
finish.
itching.
Yeah, let's try to finish up with her at least today. I
Oh, we're
mean,
done with her at this point.
I thought we
Do we
had a
really?
couple articles. Don't I have some articles on her?
Let me double check. You sent some Twitter X. No, actually, we don't even have an article on her. Just a bunch of videos, and then.
The one
Oh
thing I
no! I
want.
found one. I found one.
Okay.
I found
All
one.
right. All right. Okay. I see your hand up in the
Yay!
air.
I found it. I found the one article.
Okay, hold on. I do have one question about her before you put that up.
Yes.
Do we know for sure if she's married to her brother? Is that a
Here's
factual?
the thing. She married him on paper to get him a green card.
Right.
And then annulled the marriage.
Oh, so he got the green card and then she annulled it? So how does he
Yes.
get to keep the green card?
Because he's already a citizen. You have to stay married, at least on paperwork, for however long it takes, and then you can divorce them afterwards. It's a whole
Oh,
industry. It's a whole industry.
right.
Women get and men get paid to marry someone to get them their green card.
Yeah, I know that, but I still find that would be, and she was a congresswoman when that was going on, though, correct?
No, I believe this might have been before.
Or okay, all right.
Yes.
And
Yes,
then
I did look into that. I doubt they actually consummated the marriage in any way, fashion, or form.
I
It
don't
was
want to
just on
know.
paper.
I don't want to know that part. Does this article include the MTG video?
No, but I do have those all linked in
Okay.
to the description in case we didn't get to them. I wanted them there.
Okay. Did you want to show that one?
I can show it really quick.
Yeah, why don't you?
Well, there was like 3 or 4 of them.
Well,
So,
they're all pretty much the same, I think. Just pull one. It doesn't matter. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to get her censured.
let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
Yeah, here's her on the House floor. I believe this is it.
Okay.
Give me a second while I switch and hit play.
Oh, good job.
Recognized.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon becoming a citizen, declaring, I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. Whereas on January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, for as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system. Whereas George Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism more than any appellation derived from local discriminations. Whereas these statements by Representative Omar clearly violate the oath she took as an elected member of Congress to defend and protect the United States Constitution. Whereas Representative Omar has exhibited the treasonous tendencies George Washington warned about, and her actions must be condemned by all members of Congress who adhere to the oath they took upon assuming office. And whereas by openly admitting her efforts to advance Somalia's interest using her position as a United States representative, Representative Omar has revealed herself to be a foreign agent acting on behalf of a foreign government. Now, therefore be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee of the Budget and the Committee on Education and the Workforce.
You know, that just seems like a little slap on the wrist to me.
I say put her in jail and remove her from position of power.
So do I. At least remove her from office.
Uh-huh.
Let her
I don't think I'm wrong.
Why doesn't she have an impeachment?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
You know, why does this just warrant censorship?
Slap on the hand. Don't do that again. Bad you.
Mm-hmm.
No, she needs to be removed from office. She needs to be removed. But she's in a community that is mostly Somalian, so of course they're going to keep voting her in.
Right.
Expel her from the House and let her constituents deal with it. But her constituents are the ones that are all immigrants
right.
that moved into Minneapolis.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that.
Just like there's, where's the large portion of the Muslim community at?
The largest is Dearborn, Michigan, Dearborn region, if I remember correctly.
Who's the rep there? Do you remember?
Rashida Tlaib, who I can't stand.
Tlaib, yeah, she's just as bad.
Oh yeah, she's another one that needs to be removed from office.
We haven't even looked at her.
Give them a swift kick on the way out.
Yeah, we haven't looked at her yet either.
Oh no, I have not gotten to her yet either.
No.
Oh, that's another hard one. I that's one that I would prefer. I
You won't be
I
out.
would take 3 or 4 days to cover her,
Oh,
but
I
I'm
was
going to
gonna
have to
say.
limit myself.
Okay.
Yep, Dearborn, Michigan, Dearborn Heights, and Hamtramck, Michigan. All 3.
Wow.
You can be elected, but the House doesn't have to seat you, which means her constituents are unrepresented. Oh, but that also means that they can't be taxed because taxation without representation nonsense. So, how's that work? That would backfire on them. That would backfire on Congress, to say the least. I don't know. It's got to be changed. It really needs to be changed. When we have that many, and again, how many of those people who voted for her legally did so? We saw the video with the ballot harvesting that she created.
Right. I mean, that in of itself should have been. I believe she's under investigation.
Well, obviously now they are, but the fact is it should have been done long ago.
Right.
Back in 2020, the 2024 video, and then the other video that I showed where she
Right.
was greeting our president, my ass.
I don't remember. That's not to say it didn't happen, but I don't recall him being at the White House.
Okay, so they don't have to. Oh, so why does well Congress usually abides by the will of the people, but in this case it's something corrupt is going on and it needs to be relooked at. Okay. They have to elect someone else that the House will allow. And see, most people don't know they have this right.
No, and how is that right exercised? It's got to be voted upon. So
Well,
it would be
again, if
right.
this is where the general assemblies come in handy.
Right.
The state assemblies are supposed to be the ones keeping the politicians in check, but so many states dissolved them, especially after the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Michigan just brought theirs back a few years ago.
Right.
And we know California's is going strong. We know a couple other states have them, but we got to get more. We need, what is it, 34 states with
Something
general
like that.
assemblies
Yeah.
in order for it to be recognized again?
Right.
It's a vote of the House or the Senate. Both have some sort of rule. Okay. I just, people pay attention to what these people are saying and doing in your area. If it don't seem right, get the feds on their asses. But then again, for the last 4 years, and before that, even more, all the way back to frickin' World War I, World War II, they've never actually gone after the people
Anybody? No.
that are the problem. They
Right.
just go after the nonsense or the headline making stuff.
Right.
It bugs me. But they'll spy on us. The NSA has no problem listening in on everything we do in our homes, which is why my cameras are always covered, no matter what. They can hear me fart at night, but they ain't watching me sleep. That's creepy. I don't care if they listen. They just can't watch. That's just creepy.
There you go. All right. What
I
do you
don't.
got?
It's not okay. We got
What do
4 minutes till
Okay.
the end of the episode.
You think you got our? Can we get the last article up on her?
Yeah, let me pull the article up. We'll go through that really fast, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay.
This one. Here we go. Let me enlarge that so you can see it.
Yes. And as on April the 10th, she's going to run for re-election in the U.S. House, not on the open Minnesota Senate seat.
Huh. Let's keep reading.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Do you want to
Scroll
read
down.
or?
Yeah, I'll read. Go ahead. You read, Crazy Bee. My head's pounding.
Democrat U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar declared her intentions Thursday to run for re-election for her current House seat next year, taking her out of the mix for a statewide race. Omar's decision to run for re-election means she will not seek the opportunity to replace Tina Smith, a fellow Democrat who is retiring after 2026. Omar had left the door open to a Senate run. So she's choosing to stay in the House of Representatives and not become a senator.
That's a state senator seat, correct?
Yes.
Right. And why would that be? Because where's the spotlight at?
Right now, the House.
Correct.
Yep.
And why would she
She was
go
first
just be a
elected in.
yeah? Why would
Oh,
she
go
go
ahead.
be a state? I was going to say, why would you go be a state senator? Because they're kind of obscure. Who knows who their state senators are?
Well,
Right.
technically, I know mine and a few others.
I know, but in
Most people.
generalities.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
Most people do not know who these people are. So
I
hold
know.
on, I gotta make sure the comments. She was first elected in 2018, took seat in 2019. Omar will be the first. Will be a fifth term in the congressional district that encompasses Minneapolis and some inner ring suburbs. So she's on her fifth term. They do yearly elections there?
No, this is 2025. Every 2 years, dear.
Oh, yeah. Then that wouldn't be 5. That would only be 3.
Well, she was elected in 18, so
Well,
2026. That's
so 2 years later is 2020,
I'm
then
assuming she ran in
2022,
17 is what I'm
and then
assuming.
2024. So this will be her 5th one.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry, I apologize.
Okay.
I'm doing math. At the time when our rights are under attack, no, they're not. It is more important than ever to fight back against chaos and corruption by writing laws that prohibit us from refusing to rent to abusers and drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we protect our rights and fight back against it. The chaos and corruption. You're corrupt. We've seen the videos. And the callousness of the Trump administration. I wonder why we're callous. Because people like you get on our fucking nerves. Anyways, in her statement to the NPR, in Minnesota, we know that organized people will always beat organized money. Chica, you're getting money from these organized people.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you want them organized. Our campaign is ready to build on the success of grassroots. You mean paid for ballots? Paid for votes? Okay. Let's continue our grassroots organization efforts. You paid for those votes. Ooh, and to have record turnout for the midterms. What, you're going to pay for them again? How you paying for this? Where's that money coming from? It's not coming from your salary of $170,000 a year.
No, it's coming from the money she made on the stock market.
Oh, okay. Omar has faced notable Democrat primary challenges over her 4 terms, but won the last one comfortably over former Minneapolis City Council member Don Samuels. Take it he's not Somalian?
Probably not.
I'm great at math, but if I'm going to screw it up, it's going to be live on the internet. Yes, it's happened. I feel your pain. Thank you, Art. Omar didn't say whether she plans to endorse anyone in the multi-candidate Democrat contest for the seat currently held by Smith. So that's that brief article. I don't like her. I don't trust her. Honestly, lock her up for the treasonous comments.
And throw away the key.
And then, if you can't even lock her up for the treason, how about the paid for votes that there's a video of? And the
Right.
person openly admitted they got paid $800 to go around and get other people to vote for her and take the ballot. Oh my God. Put this woman in jail. She has violated so many laws. And then for that fucking public speech of our president, holy F. No. How is that okay? Sorry, I'm ranting. I apologize.
It's
I'm going to shut
okay.
up.
It's okay. The show's almost over. I think we're actually over by a little over 3 minutes, but
Yeah,
we took a
we'll be
bunch
all
of
right.
time. We only took a half an hour off the beginning, so technically we should
We're
continue.
doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, not too bad. So, with that
Ah,
being said, folks, I think we're done for the day. If you didn't do so already, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that happy horse shit, because we need the help, because we're underwater. We believe our corrupt politician series is being suppressed.
it
So,
is
yeah,
big
I think
time.
I think Crazy Bee might have to go in and rename all those. We'll have to talk about that.
We
Like
might have to.
like to Fun in the Sun series, part 1, part 2, part 3, something like
Oh,
that.
but then it's misleading.
With some clickbait.
Let's get to know our politicians.
There you go.
That, I think, would be a much better title.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to know our politicians, part 1 through whatever the hell we finally end up on.
We got 438 representatives we'd have to do.
Okay, we're not going to do all of them, but
No.
there are some that
Shit,
aren't even federal that are made our list.
I know. Exactly. And the problem is, this is going to be, we're going to finish this up come hell or high water, hopefully this week. Because if not, it's turning into economics. I think I might want to go back to economics. I don't know.
Well, I told you, one video, one article.
I know it's my fault. We haven't even gotten to my man yet. Tomorrow, no, Wednesday.
I think we can make
Thursday.
Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters their own episodes.
So do I. Oh, definitely.
Instead of part of the corrupt politician thing.
Yeah, I agree. Get to know Nancy Pelosi.
Getting to know our politicians.
2
Who
hours
are these
or
people
less.
really?
Yeah, 2 hours.
Bingo.
There you go. All right. Well, Crazy Bee, it's been a pleasure. It's been a long day for the both of us.
Yep. It has.
Yeah. What, today was, only 3 hours on the phone? About 3 hours? Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
About 3.
Art says we should retitle it to Who Are These People Really? That's what he meant as a title.
Yeah.
Who are these people really? That's a good one. I might go with that one.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. All right.
We've had a long day.
Yeah, it's been long. So I got Jacob Stein here. So
you got a family to deal with.
I'm dipping. I got family issues going on. Gotta wax some
I was having computer issues last night. I was trying to help out on Common Censored, but all I got was a big old black screen. I'd refresh, big old black screen. Shut down, restart the computer. Go back in. Big old black screen. I couldn't help last night on Rumble.
What was the problem? Something
couldn't figure it out. But Rumble works fine today. Couldn't get in last night to help.
Thank you, JJ. Did you have storms to that last night?
Nope. I thought maybe it was weather. Then I looked outside. No, it was fine. Something went up where I could not get into Rumble to actually get into the conversation and do this for the entire thing. The entire episode. I kept refreshing and trying and refreshing and trying. I let Mama Mac know I'm having issues. I can't get in there. I'll get in if I can.
Wow.
Would not let me in. I powered down my computer and restarted it. I did a shutdown.
And it still
Booted
didn't
back
work.
up. No, did not work. For some reason, it was not letting me into Common Censored last night.
That's strange.
Hopefully, it won't do it tomorrow when I'm supposed to help again.
Right.
I'm a little bit irked with that. And I closed out everything except my internet. I mean, not my internet. I mean, my web browser for the thing.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't load. I'm like, maybe something's eating my CPU and it's not loading right. Nope. It just was being a bitch.
Well, there you go. All right,
So,
babe. I'm done. We're going to go eat dinner, and then I'm going to go cause you trouble.
Alrighty.
All right. So everybody have a good evening, and we will see you on Thursday.
Yep.
From 3
I'll
to
be back
5.
tomorrow.
Yes, Crazy Bee will be back. I will not probably be around. So
I'm going to have fun because I found somebody posting, why are so many people in my generation having fertility problems? I went in the comments on X and I dropped a few medical reasons that it might be that most people don't consider. And so I figured it would be a fun conversation to have
you didn't
tomorrow.
even tell me that, or I would have tried to get you to change the topic since I wasn't going to be around. Because
I just found it not long before we went live. So that's why I haven't talked to you about it.
A fun topic for us to get it. No, because we'd probably get taken down. That's okay. It's a good thing I'm not going to be around. So,
yep. It'll be an interesting one.
All right. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Stay safe, stay sane, stay sober, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.